Mr. Smith, you're up.
Yes, indeed. Welcome, everybody, to the Just Be a Man podcast. I'm your man, Chuck. I'm your host. And today we have the usual suspects. We got Wayne.
Yo, what it do?
Charles.
What's up, good people?
Mike.
What up? I believe the truth, not the future.
And we're missing one of our brothers. We're missing Stefan. Today, well, first of all, let me say this. It is graduation time in and around our area. So I'm pretty sure it's graduation time in and around your area. So first, from the Just Be a Man podcast, we want to wish all of the graduates, the 2021 graduates, a congratulations on graduating and successfully completing.
Congrats.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right. So we're going to talk about, graduation, what's next. But before we do that, we're going to get into this Manscaped promo real quick.
All right. Hey, everybody. Again, thank you guys for joining us tonight. We're going to talk about our sponsor here. We've been doing this each week. So guess what? Father's Day is just around the corner. We're talking about 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away is Father's Day. So get your father a gift that you know he will like, you'll know he will use. So we have a relationship with Manscaped, and if you use the code JBAMSCAPED, you'll get 20% off, free shipping on any item you purchase. Any item you purchase, you get 20% off with free shipping. So Father's Day, as I said, just around the corner. Let's keep that in mind, and let's use that promo code the best you can. Another thing I just want you to know about Manscaped is that Manscaped is the only product that is dedicated to below the waist care. The only one that's out there. They have
South of the border.
South of the border. They got a new product out, and we've talked on it a little bit, and that's the 4.0. That's the newest, the latest, and greatest lawn mower they have. Yes, lawn mower to shave those hairs. And with that, it comes with 4 different guides, 4 different lengths. So get cut it as close as you like, or leave as much hanging as you like. It's up to you.
For you Afrocentric brothers.
Yes, sir. Keep it natural.
Right. Still rocking Afro down there.
So, but just in all seriousness, it is a very safe product, and you will not nick your nuts. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Your nuts.
Absolutely.
It'll be nice and safe.
Nothing worse.
Yeah, not nick your nuts. I like that.
Yeah. So hey, there's a flashlight, and if there's a light
in case you can't see your nuts.
Just in case, but you'll be able to do it in the dark. That's right, the dark if necessary.
What about in the park?
If it's dark, you can make it happen because it is wireless. So hey,
charge
it up. Go
and waterproof. And waterproof.
Can you take it camping?
Hey man, it can do a lot. Very versatile. Very versatile. Could do it all. We could do it all. So hey, with the lawn, besides the lawnmower 4.0, there's also a nose trimmer. Now I know all you people out there, you got those fathers and grandfathers that you run up on them, you be wondering what's going on. So,
right.
You might, just slip one of these. Let's slip one of these with a little Father's Day card. They'll be happy. Give them something to do.
Be happy. Mm-hmm. Don't be at Thanksgiving talking to somebody and they get that one hair shaking and they tell you lineage. You don't want that. That's the word. Had that one hair fluttering and you just watching that, you ain't hear nothing they said.
Yeah. It's just going in and out. In and out.
So Manscaped is a great product. Just to let you know, if you haven't heard, all of us received this product. All of us have had the chance to use it. No one has any complaints. We all love it. And it's a very, very good product. Again, use our promotion code JBAMSCAPED, get 20% off and free shipping. That's right. JBAMSCAPED. They rocking with us a little bit, right? So another thing to know is besides the nose trimmer and the lawnmower and all that good stuff, they also have other products. They have a new cologne out.
They got a cologne.
Yes,
they got the stuff to make your nuts smell good. I mean, all that type stuff.
They got the accessories. They got wipes. They got sprays and ointments and all that good stuff. So really, Being
Only
all
thing
serious,
that's missing is a pillow.
in all seriousness,
You can spray it on your pillow.
in all seriousness, go to manscaped.com, use our promo code JBAMSCAPE, and you will get a great discount. But they have a lot of products to choose from. I'm sure you'll find something you like. You'll find something in your price range. You'll find something for that man that's important to you, whether it's your father, your uncle, whatever. Check us out. So JBAMSCAPE, don't forget, you come from your dad's
You
balls.
see that? Hold on. You see the shirt? You see the shirt?
I said, don't forget.
Yo, don't get it confused with my nipple ring. Is it messing up the
Nah, you good. You looking nice and smooth.
Yeah,
Oh,
man, you good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You look like just like a pair of nuts. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So don't forget, we all come from our dad's balls. So this year,
Show was already out of control.
show some love. Manscaped. All right, I had enough.
Yes, sir.
All right, back to you, Chuck.
And that's what we do, man. Hey, look, we survived 4 years. We got them through. High school. Now what? All right. I mean, some of us, our kids, they're going off to college. We've got them committed, to different schools, and we're happy. But my question, the question that I'm hearing a lot is, do we need college? Do we need advanced degrees anymore? Let me throw something out and see if it sticks. And you guys tell me what's up. Now, we've all been to college. And back in the day, of course, growing up, it was said to us, you got to go to college, you got to get that piece of paper, especially if you from a Black family, you got to get that piece of paper because it shows and proves that and you want to get a good job and all this other stuff. But, and that's one of the ways that companies or corporations, your resume, they looked at you and your grades and things like that, what school you went to and all of that. But now, i.e. COVID and some other factors, people have been forced to work from home. People are, like, for example, like marketing, people went to school for marketing all that time. And now with like these apps, TikTok and things like that, you got kids 15, 16, 17 years old making not thousands, but millions of dollars doing what these larger corporations were doing, that are going out and plucking these kids from colleges who've been in school for 4 to 6 years. So, using references like that, moving forward in today's society, do we still need advanced degrees for things that it appears kids are already doing right now without advanced degrees? Wayne?
Yeah, let me start. So first of all, I'd like to say, reiterate what Chuck said. Congratulations to everybody for the graduates for 2021. I have two myself this year, and I'll let you know that the graduation is as much for the parent as it is for the child. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a wonderful achievement. Now, to touch on Chuck's point a little bit. I think in the past, for our age group at least, we went to college as the next step because there were fewer opportunities. And basically, when you get in front of, like you said, with the resume, you get in front of a company or corporation, when they see that you went to college, doesn't necessarily mean you're smarter. It just means that you went that extra step. You took that initiative, you took that time, you put those additional hours in. So that was a big thing. But to your point, Chuck, I think that the entrepreneurial opportunities are far greater. Like you just said, with these different apps, these kids are making money having fun. Mm-hmm. They're not creating a lemonade stand. They're not selling, they're not washing cars. They're not doing something to make a couple bucks. They're doing something that they like anyway.
Making big moves.
Like, oh, and there's money too. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I think it is a different world. I think it's a different world, and I think you said in an episode before that the college degree will have less value. I think that there's going to be some super skilled jobs like astronauts and doctors and shit like that. You don't want them to learn that on YouTube.
Right.
My doctors,
right. Of course.
I want my doctors to go to school.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying. Aside from that super skilled labor, there's a lot of ways to make money without, committing to a 4-year school or even a 2.
Right. And like I said to my kid, my son, who's a computer junkie and sits in his room all day and plays games and stuff, preparing to go to school. We didn't have YouTube and the internet and stuff like that when I was coming up. These kids, they're sitting in their room and they have apps like Twitch. That's one of the ones I've heard about. And on there, they're selling merchandise and they're selling all kind of gamers, and they do that stuff so they can continue gaming, so they don't have to leave the house and all kinds of stuff. On there also, you have stars and celebrities that are doing things on there. You got T-Pain, and it's a whole list of people. But it seems like everything is moving online, everything is moving digital. And so then with that said, what does it mean for college degrees, especially in that field? Anything with the internet and moving forward. Again, it comes back to my thought. Do I really need college if there's careers out there that I'm already doing? I'm having fun doing it, me and my friends. Do I need to now go to school to get a degree doing what I'm already doing? Charles, what do you think? And of course, what Wayne said, we're not talking about doctors and lawyers and things like that. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, I mean, again, excuse me. Congratulations to all the graduates. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice all of a sudden. But all things considered, I think it's just a matter of, which direction you're trying to go in. You're absolutely right. With this digital platform, the internet, things of that nature, there's a lot of people that are making money in those areas. But then there are a lot of people that are trying to make money in some of those areas and can't. They're not successful. So they find themselves going sort of the traditional career route. And when you talk about traditional careers, by and large, those that have the college educations tend to fare better than the ones that don't. Granted, there are a lot of entrepreneurs out here and things of that nature, and they feel like, maybe a certificate in some cases is more valuable than a college degree because, it's a faster path to get yourself going in terms of your career. But let's just, sort of play this out. Let's just say that, you do go after that certificate versus the traditional 4-year college route. There are benefits on both sides of the equation. The benefit for the person that pursues the certificate, they're able to get right into their career path and perhaps, start making money right away. Right. But at the same time, you have that person that took the 4-year path and they're saddled with student loan debt. You know what I mean? So that's another aspect of it because they have to now try to find their way out of that situation. So a lot of people look at that as, yeah, you got your 4-year degree, but you're going to spend all these years working in order to pay for it. So I see, again, there are benefits on both sides of the path, and you could really argue this, both ways. You really can. And Chuck, you're muted, brother.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Can you hear me? There we go. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I can see exactly what you're saying. So Mike, let me ask you this: Do you think this is here to stay? Is it a fad? You know how quick we are to jump onto these new trends, and we've been in COVID for in quarantine for almost 2 years or whatever. So the world has to open back up at some point. So everybody's saying, yeah, we can. Is it a fad? Meaning, I think you know what I'm trying to say. Is this sustainable? The thought that we don't need Ivy League degrees and things like that, and we can just get by on the things we learn via the internet. And let's take it out of the let's try to make it more practical. Construction workers, all right? And can you learn a trade simply by what you learn over the internet? You see what I mean?
I would say that it's a personal choice. If you want to go to school, you want to go to college for 4 years or 6 years, that's a choice. If you want to go to technical school and spend those 18 months, 2 years in school in order to get out and become a tradesman and become a plumber, electrician, whatever, I think it's up to the individual and what they want out of life. The main factor of getting a job, a good job, is to support yourself and be able to support your family and buy what you need and keep the roof over your head. That's what it boils down to. Can you just live off the road? No. I mean, the reality of it is that whatever you choose, you have to make sure that that job is sustainable enough where it's going to keep up, with the prices or whatever, and you're going to be able to feed your family, and make sure that everybody's taken care of. I mean, like I said, trades and 4-year college. I think like I said, it boils down to choice, but them trades, man, I tell you, every time the dude come to my house and he hit me up for something, well, I got to write him a check for a couple of $1,000 and he just say thank you and leave. I'm like, I'm in the wrong business. You know what I mean? And so he's like, hey, thank you.
Real
He
talk.
came, and the thing about it is, the dude that picked up the check didn't even do the work. His workers did the work. He came and picked up the check.
Right.
He came and looked at the job. So what I'm saying is that it's all based on what you want to do. But don't forget, times have changed from when we went to school. There's a lot more opportunities out there. Kids can learn online what they need to know to take, unfortunately, it's almost set up for them not to leave the house, but everything is based around e-commerce now. And I think the biggest thing is, like you said, if a kid wants to learn coding, if he wants to be an IT guy, whatever, those are things that he can learn at a technical school, but you also can learn in college. But I think the only difference between the two is that you get in the field a lot quicker with a trade school, And I think that once again, it's about what you put into it and what you get out of it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I mean, to me, it depends on your career path and what you're trying to go into. Yeah, obviously, if I'm doing marketing and things like that, this is probably the best time for onliners and YouTubers and creators and stuff like that. Literally, you have individuals. They go to restaurants. They take pictures of themselves eating the meal and stuff like that, and then they edit the video down. They go to the owner and said, "Hey, I did this video. I've got 200,000 followers. Would you like to pay me $50 to release it on my site and hopefully drive some business to you?" So for 50 to $100, this person, the business owner, has got $2,000, $3,000 worth of business from somebody who just started doing this on a humble, you know. So, and then the flip side to that, kind of lost my train of thought, but the flip side of that is, well, I wanted to touch on something Mike said real quick about the construction workers and stuff like that. The irony now is, back in the day, for the most part, we used to talk about people that wanted to be construction workers and mechanics and things like that.
Now we writing checks.
We didn't understand it. We didn't understand though.
Now you write.
That's going to show you. That's going to show you where our mental was. That how close-minded we were, and how other people were far ahead when their kids, when kids talking about, I'm going to be an electrician. What the hell is electrician? You going to put in plugs? You didn't know that man charged you 150 coming in the door and $75 an hour while he there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So if you do that 5 times a week,
you're doing all right.
5 times a week, times 365 or whatever.
That's why you got employees.
Yeah,
that's how you have employees.
There's big money in those trades, man. Absolutely.
Right.
Exactly. And
like I said, don't take anything away. I mean, I got some great brothers right here that went to school and they became, very, very great parents, very great, men who have households and everything else. So I think it's all about choice, man. And I got a gentleman right here, Chuck, as yourself, entrepreneur, start your own business. You did great. Everybody did awesome because they chose their own path and they did what they had to do and they made the best with what they had. So I think it just boils down to individual choice and the timing of the market and everything else. Like right now, we talk about construction guys, but there's no wood. They killing them on wood. They charge us for some 1/4-inch plywood dip. Man, what? It's crazy. But them dudes are making money now. Think about it. I heard in your area, I don't know, what do you got? somewhere in the DC area. You know how they say that people pay $10,000 for a house? Somebody paid $1 million, bidding over $1 million. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the housing
Somebody's
market
making
is
money
crazy
out
right
here.
now.
Somebody's
Yeah.
making money. If you're willing to bid $1 million, I mean, of course the house costs some dough, but I mean, if it's to the point, so it's telling you about that industry, about, and what happens is with COVID, everybody started looking at their house, seeing how small their house was after everybody's ass was all crowded up in there. So that's why people decided to fix up their house to sell it or just buy other houses. That's why the shortage of wood and everything is out. People decided to do, what do they call, renovation? Construction, renovation, construction. You hear that at the end? Shun. You know what I mean? Construction, renovation. So everybody can get paid, brother.
Is that French? That's French.
That's right. But so Chuck, if I could just kind of, you asked if that was sustainable, and so a couple things come to mind right away. My first answer is absolutely. It's absolutely sustainable. If you look at some of the most successful people out there, they did it without. I mean, you look at a Bill Gates, you look at the Zuckerberg. I mean, it's all technology, and these are still technologies that are killing it today, and they only expands.
Yeah, but let me chime in, right? Yeah, we're talking about anomalies, though. All right, we're talking about a few individuals that got super rich off of ideas, but the majority of the people that work for them have degrees. A lot of them have degrees. You know what I mean? When you think about the workforce, okay, I just want to level set this thing. That when we're talking about your general 9-to-5 corporate America type positions, those with college degrees fare far better than those that don't have them statistically across the board in terms of the amount of money that they make, things of that nature. Even the military, okay?
Yep.
If you have a degree going into the military, you start off ahead of the game as a second lieutenant. Whereas you go in without that piece of paper, you're going in as a private, and your career path is far more rigid and difficult to get into and break the officer ranks. And so everywhere in corporate America, you have that scenario. Now, I've been in situations where, I was hiring a bunch of people, right? And everything considered equal, if a person with equal skill sets and one had a degree and one didn't, I'm hiring the person with the degree 9 times out of 10.
Sure. So let me say this. So I'm following what you're saying, but to my point, when I talked about the Zuckerbergs and the Bill Gates and things of that nature, these are people who did well without a college degree. What we found over these last 18 months with this pandemic and everyone being at home, that it is sustainable, that you do not need to walk into a cubicle each and every day in order to conduct business and be successful at it. There's some companies that are hurting, but there are some companies that didn't miss a beat.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So again,
many companies that thrived.
Yeah. So the degree matters. The absolutely degree matters. But let me say this as well. We've graduated, right? And so I've had a level of success in what I'm doing. But how much is it because I went to college? So my answer is, I think what college taught me was not how to do the work that I do now. I heard someone say before, college teaches you how to think.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it does. So it's not like that statistic class that I took or that biology class I took is something that I'm using today. But it teaches you how to think about a variety of things, a variety of different ways. So again, with your example of, I'm sorry, Chuck, but with the all things being equal, would I take someone with a degree over someone without? Absolutely, because what that shows to me is that someone has made more effort or put more time in than someone else.
Okay, and that was actually close to what my next question. Would you take somebody with the degree versus someone with practical experience? You take somebody with a degree, he's been for, let's say, not even a 4-year degree. He went the extra step, he's got an extra 2 years in it. He's got the degree, but you've got someone over here that's actually been doing the job.
But are we saying so they're not equal? You're saying they're not equal?
Well, equal in the sense that the person with the degree, he's got the knowledge, but he has not done the job yet. The practical experienced person has been doing the job, but he doesn't have the book smarts.
I'll let somebody else answer.
I mean, my
I'll
thing is if you have somebody that has been doing the job for X amount of years, there's no substitute for that. I mean,
Right.
book knowledge doesn't make up for that. Having a degree doesn't make you necessarily an intelligent person. It doesn't mean that you have common sense. It doesn't mean a lot of things. I've hired a number of people that had degrees and they missed the mark when it came down to, but there are a lot of people that don't have degrees that missed the mark also.
Yes.
So what we're talking about is if it was truly equal, and that to me is not equal. The person with the work experience he has an advantage because of the experience, because they've been doing the job for X amount of time.
You don't have to train them either.
Well,
exactly.
some would say that the person with the education has the advantage because he has the most jobs won't hire you unless you have a degree.
So I think that there's kind of that, the egg and the chicken kind of thing.
Right.
So listen to this though. How many people do you know with a degree that went straight to college after high school, graduated with whatever degree they graduated, or working exactly in that? Not many.
Not many.
Not many.
Not a lot.
But that degree is what gets you in the door, right? So that they say, "Hey, I know this is a marketing job."
But if it's not getting you in the door to your career path, then is it really doing for you what you needed it to do?
But let me ask another question.
I mean, if that's the case, I can almost get any job.
Yeah, but how many people do you know with a degree that regret having the degree?
I don't think that's the question.
Well,
I agree with you.
It's my question.
I can't say anybody.
It's my question.
I can't say that I know anybody.
I know tons of people that started the process towards a degree for whatever reason, life happened, and they didn't finish. And I know those same individuals, many of them, not all, but many of them are living with that regret factor, right? I don't know too many people. Yeah, I don't know too many people that completed the process and are looking back on and say, you know what, that 4 years was a waste of time. I'm not saying I should have done it differently.
I agree with that part. I know there's some people out there that we don't know of them or whatever, but I know right here, as far as the things we had to go through, I could see where you build from the bottom. When you go, it tests you. I was tested when I was there. I saw Wayne test. I saw you guys test it. Charles, you had numerous tests while you were in college. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Yes, sir.
Chuck, I know you went through some stuff too. So I'm telling you, it boils down to the individual and how you utilize it. If you utilize your trade school and turn it into a tradesman turn it into his own business, or if you go to school and you go to work for somebody and you work your way up the ladder. My thing is like burn the midnight oil at Verizon or working overtime at the state. You still burning that midnight oil to get to where you need to go. So whether you're moving up or whether you are attainable to move up, monetarily wise, or like I said, through the company, everybody has an agenda, and once you figure out what it is, it's going to make it easier for whoever they are to make their way through life.
Yeah, I think if you're a high school graduate and you know exactly what the heck you want to do with your life coming out of high school, there's an opportunity for you to be very strategic, be very targeted and intentional, and go towards that particular area. If it means just a certificate or some type of specialty training, things of that nature, you have the opportunity to do that. And I would say, absolutely, there's gold going down that path if you figured it out. Now, but if you are one of those individuals that you're not quite sure, then you're going to be a little bit more well-rounded if you decide to go the school route, because now just perception wise, you may have the ability to shift some things throughout your career where you start out in one area, maybe you go into a different area, but your degree operates as an umbrella over all those things. If I'm getting certified in a particular area, that certification is not going to do me any good. If I'm a computer science certificate earner And now I want to make the shift over into a different type of, line of business, or, I want to go into accounting all of a sudden.
No, that's different.
Yeah, it's
that's different.
it's not going to mean anything.
Right. Go ahead, Wayne.
No, go ahead. Finish your thoughts. I was going to say.
No, I was going to say, I think that a lot of people, even if they get into, just say a person goes to school for 2 years IT, all right? He pays his $10,000 loan versus somebody who went to school for 4 years, paid their $75,000 loan. The thing about it is that it's going to be like like a graph. That person who came out, they might start off, doing whatever they need to do, and they start working for somebody, then they start working for themselves. The other person who comes out starts his way at the bottom of the ladder, works his way up. I think there's positives in both. As far as what's a pro and a con, there's pro and cons on both sides, because we're talking about, what about robotics taking over certain jobs that can be done in certain areas. What about outsourcing? What about people who get outsourced? Their business might get outsourced. Then what? Who's going to outsource electrician? I don't see any robots outsourcing electrician or plumber or any other bot. So I think it's all about what area you go in, what area you go into, and what you put into it. You guys love what you do, and you do a good job at it. That's great. And the people that do the trades, if they love what they do, I'm telling you, there's a guy came to plumber, another pocket killer, come here. It was like, yeah, you retire? Yeah, I'm gonna retire too. Yeah, I didn't decide to go. I didn't want to go college. I said, nah, I'm better off. And he just said it. I know I don't want to go to college. So I became a plumber. And guess what? Now he owns his own business. He's doing pretty well for himself. So I think when you're self-aware of what you want to do, I think it makes it easier. But when you look at our kids' eyes and say, what do you want to do? Like, they start doing this stuff like, or they say something far-fetched. You're like, what? Astrological who? Man, let's go talk. So I had to have noodles or something.
So Chuck, if I could kind of just shift it just a little bit, and I'm thinking, can we, everyone on this call right now has a graduate, right? And we clapped and all that other stuff already. But I'm saying, if we could just talk a little bit about our individual experiences and kind of roll it in. And so let me start by saying that, I have 2 graduates this year. I have a son that's graduating high school, or graduated, past tense, graduated high school, and a daughter that graduated college. 2 completely different children. Now, my son doesn't have aspirations to go to college at all, and my daughter is on her way to law school. So completely different. So what I'm saying is, it's all about what you have in front of you, your opportunities, and what drives you. Now, every one of you guys have a different situation. Everyone's situation is different. College, no college, whatever it is. But I just thought it would make sense for, some of our perspective of what we're saying comes from what we're really living, from what we've seen. So I just wanted to kind of shift it just a little bit there, if that's all right.
No, that's real good. I mean, go ahead, Mike.
No, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, my daughter came out of high school this year. Matter of fact, graduated with Chuck's son, and very proud of who she's become and who she's becoming, as a young lady. Now, we did have the discussion about, college versus, not going to college. And Wayne, you touched on the fact that you have, basically 2 extremes in the same sort of family. My daughter, I would say, is sort of in between that. She's not overly motivated to go to college, nor is she undermotivated and no, she doesn't want to go. So I would say she's in that area where we're giving her what we call a very short leash. You're not going to college to blow money, and you know what I'm saying? It's not one of those things where we're going to accept you not performing at college and it just drags on. That's not going to happen. It's like, we're going to figure this thing out very quickly. Either you're going to get it, you're going to be motivated by it, and you're going to do everything that you need to do in order to do the work, get the grades, things of that nature, be successful, or it's going to show up the other way, where you're not motivated, you're not getting the grades, you're wasting money. And so there's going to be a hook that I'm going to send all the way down to Atlanta where she's in school, and I'm going to yank her ass back home as quickly as possible if it turns out to be that type of scenario.
So you gave her the same speech that our parents gave us.
Pretty much.
I ain't sending your ass to school to party now.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You remember that?
Exactly.
But you know what though? The thing about it is that there's always going to be that extreme. You know, I got one son graduating 8th grade. Now he's going to he'll be starting high school. He's starting in the honors pro. Everything's gonna be honors, math, English, whatever. But he got an older brother who graduated. Thank you, Lordy Victorian. So, so I was, you know, so it's like there's always that extreme, man. So I mean, you know, it is what it is, man. You know, I mean, you just got to stay with him and hoping they get on the right path somewhere. You know, you give them that direction. But you can't want it more than them, man. And me and Wayne, and we know we guys talk about, but me and Wayne talk about a whole lot. Why, you know, we can't want it more than them. They have to want it. They have to have that focus. And if they don't have the focus, then they need to figure it out. But it's only a timeline. Like you said, Charles, you only got a certain amount of time. Then it's like, you'll figure out what you want to do, or you got to get the hell about it.
So what's next for your oldest then, Mike? I mean, you said he graduated. Thank you, Lordy. What's next?
As a parent, when you're parenting from a distance, you really have you don't have any you have lack of information. You know, that's like coming to a meeting late. You don't know what's going on.
That's real.
Get caught up. I don't get caught up. My life has been coming to the meeting late and never get the notes of what happened or whatever, and you got to play it by ear. And that's one of the most frustrating things. But what I did let them know, listen, I'm here for you. If you need me, whatever. And like I said, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And I'm not, and maybe I was wrong, but one day when he said something about he wanted to be something, I said, really? I said, you know, well, you know, that takes a lot of math and stuff. And, you know, at that point, his grades he wasn't doing too well in math. And I said, if you really want to do it, you got to buckle down. Now, did he buckle down more toward the end? Yeah, but it's a killer when you don't do it those first 2 years, negate what you did the second 2 years. You know, and the colleges look at that type of stuff, and he didn't realize that. You know, and just like prices, this ain't like going to Amazon and you're looking at two different pairs of two different hats, and one is one price, one the other you can beat the price. No, when you go to college, you're paying that price. So he has to understand that if we're gonna be shelling out this money, this is what you want to do. But if it's not what you want to do, I'm not giving you no free ride. You know, there ain't no test. If you want to test, then you can test part-time, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, see, I was kind of nodding when Charles was talking because I'm kind of having a similar thing. My son, you know, has always done pretty decent in school. And we were talking about, again, do you need a degree for the future? And I think part of his son, because he's always done well in school, but getting ready to go to college now, he just really seems lackluster. And hey, have you done this in preparation for school? Yeah. You know, just, you know, it's like he just has no drive or ambition, or doesn't see taking college seriously.
It could be nerds too, Chuck.
That too, but I'm thinking part of his issue is that, again, does he need the degree? He's in a field where he's already starting to make money doing what he's doing. You guys came over. Remember, you guys came over and we were breaking bread, and I'm on the grill. And Wayne, I think you said, "Hey, Chris, so what do you want to be?" And he says, "Oh, well, this is what I want to do." And that was the first time I had heard my own son what he decided he wanted to do after years of robotics and STEM and all this other stuff. He decided total. So here he is now, a graduate. But prior to him graduating, he's already started to make money in a field that he's decided he wants to go in. So now I kind of feel like his lack of motivation is, what am I doing this for? Why do I need to go to college to get a degree in something that I'm making money at, that I love doing, that I'm having fun doing? And now I got to go to college and get a degree in something that I'm already doing.
Hey,
yes, sir.
Just let him know it's okay, man. If he's feeling that way, let him know it's okay. And if he's gonna focus on that, and he's gonna take classes that's gonna enrich what he's doing, or he can take some master classes and pay some money. I mean, you're gonna pay money regardless for whatever class you take, whether they're with school or whether they're outside of school for certificates or whatever. But if he's going to
No,
continue to improve his
I'm
craft,
gonna pay the money.
no,
So
but what I'm saying is that if he's having those thoughts, let him know it's okay to have those second thoughts or whatever is
absolutely.
normal. But if he's going to focus on what he wants to do and he's really serious about it, there's avenues, as you know, as Charles knows and Wayne knows, there's avenues that you utilize, whether online or whatever, that's going to keep you on that path. Now, you might be doing that to make money, but now he might want to turn it into an actual business and get people to work with him and whatever. You can learn that type of stuff, as you guys know.
Yeah,
So
but you just hit the nail right on the head. That the one thing that our kids, they're know-it-alls. They think they know everything right away. So the one thing that I have been stressing to them is, everything that you're trying to do, it is a business. So you still need to go to school to learn the business. So yes, if you're doing what you're doing, but nobody comes into this world knowing how business operates. Yes, your dad is a business owner and you have come up under my ranks and you know my particular industry, but your industry is different. You have to learn those rules and whatever. So I'm telling him, yes, yeah, like, again, I don't know if that's exactly where his motivation or the lack of his motivation is, but what I am explaining to him is you need to go. You need to understand how it works from the inside. You need to, but not only that, just aside from the industry, my issue with my son is also he needs to expand his horizons. He needs to be among other people. He needs to be among other people that are like-minded, but he also needs to be around other people with different values and views and things like that. My son to me is one of the a sheltered kid because he doesn't do a lot. Other than but I don't want to say that. It seems like his generation, everything they do is online. So I don't want to say he doesn't do a lot, but he does. He's online. So, but and that's one of the reasons why my son is going away to school, because I think we need to broaden his horizons.
You said, but see what you said? You said you think. What does he think?
Well, it's been with discussion with him also.
Okay.
I mean, if he said he wants to go around the corner, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still his father.
No, I know.
Right. So while he is a young adult, because his mother and I have what I believe is a little more wisdom than him, and because we want him to be more well-rounded, while we give him a choice whether or not he's going away or not, we're not that we're forcing him, but yeah, we are guiding him to do that because there's a world outside of where he lives and where he's growing up, and he needs to understand how that world works and how he's going to move in that world. I'm sorry,
Chuck,
go ahead, Charles.
Yeah. Let me jump in here real quick. First, you and I, Chuck, I think are perfect examples of things that sort of happen in life with regards to, making money, early versus what could potentially happen in the future. And what I'm specifically referring to, you talked about how your son is making money now. As a recent high school graduate, and he's sort of questioning whether or not he should just continue down that path or perhaps go to college. I think there's an opportunity to do both. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. He could still continue because he's doing it part-time anyway. He can continue to do what he's doing now while earning that degree, because you and I know more than anybody else on this podcast that technology can be disruptive as hell.
Yes,
can blow up the spot. You and I had a video store that was put out of business basically because of disruptive, events that took place. So now that industry doesn't even exist anymore.
Right.
It doesn't even exist. Yeah, exactly. So had we not had other things going on in our lives, other things to fall back on, things of that nature, who knows if we had put all of our eggs in one basket, what could have happened? And I think about your son and people just like him that are currently tinkering with things that are hot and new and sexy and cutting edge. That stuff ain't gonna be cutting edge 5 years from now.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's what I would offer.
That's a good point.
And the other thing that you mentioned in terms of growing up, that's one of the chief motivating factors for us sending our daughter away, because she needs to grow the hell up. Campus life, work study programs, interacting with people in academia, the fellow students, things of that nature. There is no replication, no duplication of that anywhere. So if there is no other, even if she doesn't get to the point of graduation,
yeah,
we would have gotten something out of that experience just from her spending time on campus.
You're right.
That absolutely. I mentioned that my son is not looking to go to college. He's looking at some sort of technology certificate type program. It's fine. But to that point that Charles just brought up it's priceless. It really is. So Charles said earlier, do you know anybody who did 4 years of college and regretted it? No, because those experience that this podcast right here is an example of that experience. And it's the friendships that you make, it's the relationships you make. I mean,
it's more than a degree.
Yeah, it's way more. Just
right,
like
but we experienced the struggle, man.
That's what I was gonna say.
Each and every person had their own struggle while we were together as friends. So if we were there to experience not only our own but theirs, and to stay tight and to keep focus, even when somebody wasn't doing too good, just to call them up, blow off some steam, cut it up a little bit, whatever. All those times we did that for each other brought us to this point.
Yeah, but check this though. So like, the fact that everyone on this call has had a level of success in their life, right? Financially, meaning not necessarily struggling. Right. So what does that mean? That translates to our children. So some of the struggles that I didn't grow up with a lot, but so that's what kind of drove me. I feel like because they have access to stuff, they don't have that drive. So I mean, I'm in college as the second year off campus. When your lights get turned off, or your phone, we had actual phones. Your phone gets turned off, or you notice on your door. That's real shit, right? You got to figure that out, right? But these kids are growing up in a situation where they've never, if they lost their cell phone, they might die. You know what I mean? Like
that is a life or death situation.
Yes, sir.
There's no real struggle. There's no real struggle. So even though I'm promoting or I'm happy for my son trying to go do this certificate thing, he's going to be doing it from home. You know what I mean? Like he's going to be going to the local community college. And so, yeah, you might get really good at this skill, but how does that prepare you for life? And that's what college does. Seeing people that got a bunch of money, people ain't got no money, and everyone in between. That's how you learn. That's what the real world looks like. It doesn't look like
he's gonna have.
You'll never get me to invalidate the college life, the college experience, or getting a degree. That's not my focus here, and I don't want anybody that's watching this to take that away from any of us. That's not what we're saying here. Just to refocus a little bit, the initial focus or the conversation was moving forward 2021 and beyond, given COVID and what we've had is everybody stuck in the house and we've worked from home, we've done school from home, everything has been, so moving forward is a degree really necessary. And I think we've made several good points, but that was the focus tonight. So I just want to try to get back to that and make sure that we're stay on that. But yeah, I think we've all had extremely valid points. Yes, I want to state for the record that I do think there's a place for degrees moving forward in certain fields, like we said. I'm going to venture to say that in the future, and not the too distant future, you're going to see some of those careers come off the diploma radar, if you will, and obviously, I believe a lot of those are going to be in the digital field, the virtual field, even marketing in some areas, because again, these kids are walking around here right now with supercomputers in their pockets. They're doing a lot of this stuff on the fly. They're not going to offices and doing this stuff. So that's the future to me. I don't see the future being anybody like in the past going out, hey, we'd like to market your business. Somebody goes out to a business, sit with them for a couple of hours, try to get their vision, and they go back to the office and they put these plans together. So I don't think we're going to have that anymore. Everything's going to be, hey, let me shoot this to you. I'm going to shoot it back. You're good. I'm good. Okay, we put it out. We make money. You make money. Everybody's happy, and nobody's even seen each other face to face. Do I need a degree for that? Again, certain fields, I don't think you're gonna see people saying, hey, you got to get that degree anymore. You probably still have to get certificates, but again, even right now, if you want to get certified in certain digital areas, you can go on Google.
Well,
Google,
I think
Google has a whole university and digital back office thing where you can get certificates, and then you take those certificates and you go on to those work sites like Fiverr and stuff like that,
right,
and you advertise, hey, I'm a certified whatever, and that certification is good as gold.
right.
And you haven't spent 4 years. You spent maybe, I think, like 3-4 months. You did it from home, and you're now eligible and probably making the same paper as somebody that has a 4-year degree.
Right.
So,
I think that from what I'm what I'm listening to here and what I'm hearing, when I'm looking at the internet, different things. Over the years, a lot of people have pushed for 4-year college, for people to get their degrees or whatever, and that's great. And we did it. Some of us did it, some of us didn't. But the thing about it is, I think that left a lot of the trades, textile, manufacturing industries at a loss. Now those industries are starting to pick up now, somewhat. So I think you're going to start seeing a lot more people who are eligible for the STEM programs that are offered through these technical schools, coding, all these different things that they're offered that are relevant to what's going on right now with e-commerce. Even e-commerce, even an e-commerce IT. If you become an IT guy and your focus is e-commerce, you're going to make some money somewhere, somehow. You know what I mean? So once again, I put it back to, it's all about what you put into it, where you land, and once you land, what are you going to do once you land? Are you going to stay still or let the grass grow under your feet? You're going to keep it moving. And I think that's what we're hoping for, that for our youngsters, that they keep moving. They don't let the grass grow under their feet.
yeah, no doubt. All right. Well, look, it has been another absolutely fantastic show. And this was a lively one, guys. I'm glad that we actually, we chopped it up. And
Yeah, good dialogue. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. All right. I mean, that's what we're talking about. We want the people to understand that, this is the conversation we have on Just Be a Man. All right. We talk about this stuff, real stuff, all the time. All right.
Yeah.
So we want to appreciate, again, congratulations to all of the graduates out there, high school, college, technical school. I don't care where you graduated from, you graduated. To all the parents, this is you sharing their celebration. You did it
no
too.
doubt.
So congratulations. Look, we're over here patting ourselves on the back too. All right. Okay. Right now, we want you guys to go to all of our social media. That's YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. You know the rest. And smash that like and subscribe button. We need your help. We need your support. We love you guys. We really appreciate you tuning. Every week, Thursday, 7 p.m., Facebook Live, Just Be a Man. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Mike, take us out.
Deuces.